Her hand still fumbled around while the past and the present merged. Her hand remembered a moment such as this, when she came across a smooth, satisfying tablet of stone with precisely the correct weight and density. The pebble's size fitted snugly into the palm of her hand. She stood and walked over to the edge of the dark pool, in time with the teenage shadow of herself alongside her. Absent-mindedly, the last flecks of soil were removed from the pebble until it felt perfectly smooth. Exactly as before, the woman and the girl as one leant back, and that old throwing technique returned, a technique honed out of 1,000 repetitive throws. She launched the black stone high into the air and watched as it passed through a star cluster, and as it dived into the dead centre of the pool. It plunged into the face of the full moon as it disrupted its serene visage on the water. She heard the girl laugh and cry at the same time, the sharpshooting briefly taking the edge off her despair. After the satisfying splosh and subsequent splash of the crowning spray, she watched the ripples make their way to every shore and then rebound back. But these were cancelled out before they could complete their journey back to the centre. The brief laughter of her younger self halted, and tears ran down the girl's face as Nadie watched her disappear. Nadie sat back down and contemplated the stone. She would never see it again. Nobody would. She imagined the hurtling rock in slow motion hit the freezing water, sinking and sinking until it came to rest on the bed of the lake. Over time, sediment and mud would bury it forever in suffocating darkness. She stayed there for another hour, reflecting on her life until she decided to head back to Tatum's cottage. She roamed back over the hill and into the wood. Near the edge, only a few trees in, she heard a crack of a breaking twig. The animals froze, and for a few moments everything was still and silent. Nadie thought that even the spirits were holding their breath. She turned in a deliberate circle, peering into every aspect of the darkness. Nothing stirred or made a sound, but there was something. She sniffed at the air. There was the smell of earth and fresh leaves clothing the trees, and the soft rotting leaves on the ground. Within the breeze there was the exotic fragrance of lingering eau de cologne. She heard another crack of a breaking twig, but this time it was much further away and heading in the opposite direction to where she was going. Nadie was reassured enough to continue her journey back to the cottage, and the animals and birds resumed their hurrying and scurrying.